We have to go back to this. Now what this means is the girl is cutting up 3 apples. This means 3 girls are cutting up apples. So that's very important to see the difference. See, because it's actually, this is the segment here.
But it's always before.
See, it's before whatever it's changing. So 3 girls, apples, they are cutting because there's 3 girls. A girl, 3 apples is cutting. And see this, see the verb agreement going on? Here are 3 girls, so it has to be a plural verb. Here's a girl, has to be a singular verb. That's called verb agreement. If you don't have that, then if I said to you, det förstake är för you could almost get away with it, but it'd be kind of wrong. Because you could say girls. Let's see how it would be wrong.
That would have to be in a conversation.
Yeah, it'd have to be. But just straight out, that'd be wrong. Yeah. So tafe get versus. So these locations, see, our language is very locked in what position things go in. When we go up to Nili and we work with the Sahapan speakers, they almost have they have like a word order free language. They can just mix stuff up and still make sense. They go, how do you guys know what you're talking about? You know, because our language is very, you know, what comes first to second, or you know, what comes third, you know, what orders in very clear, very concise patterns. And they just they could throw the man, the girl, the apple, and cutting in different places, but they throw little pieces of grammar on it, like a sound, and it tells them what's going on. They go, how does your brain even understand what you just said? See? Again, the mind of the language. All these languages of the world are so uniquely, wonderfully different. And here's an example. We're very structured and ordered. How we see and talk about the world. Theirs is, we'll throw all the stuff together and make spaghetti and it tastes like pasta. I don't know. It's interesting. It's a very different approach. And we're sitting there going, wow, you guys get away with doing that, huh? So they have free word order compared to us. We have a very strict word order. Yeah, very strict. And part of the belief is that, remember when I said the word nashta, I am running, is a whole sentence? Theoretically, maybe. Since this is a whole sentence, I am running, right? The da means to run, right? Anytime there's a verb with da on the end, it usually means run. Okay? And the na means movement. The sha is first singular. And this is called, well, this could just be, it could be a causative to make it happen. Okay. But if you notice, the order of this even. This is the subject, right? And this is the verb, root. So if you start from the base word in this language, theoretically speaking, the word order is set for us. See, because here's the subject and here's the verb. It's built out from the basic mechanics of the verb itself, then it made the parent sentence. Probably.
It could be.
That's in theory.
There's 9.
That's just
I'm not sure
looking
which
at
one's a part.
relationships. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm running, so I can just capitalize this and make this into a sentence. Put a period
I
right
don't
there.
know anything about top.
It doesn't say where I'm running, but I can. But it's got everything you need to know. It doesn't say to where, but it's an intransitive verb, so it's just the act of running. Okay, so that might be why we ended up with an SOV word, verb, structure as a sentence. Because this da is what's called, it has semantic meaning. If I say, like for aish, it means to write. If I say as, it means to cut. If I say well, all of it, leak means to make, make a net. Dash is to dance, yeah. Ha is to fly, and that's at the end of the verb.
And one of the things they'll need practice on is doing the LH sounds. They're everywhere, and you
Oh, that right here.
Mostly,
nosh.
especially colors.
And, just practice, just nosh, noshta.
Yeah.
And that's,
Because
that combination of letters is everywhere.
Especially if you're a person who's making this an SH to begin with. If you're making the word number 1 slop,
Schla.
or slop. See, But really you've got to say la. See? So to her point is that if you were going to say it that way, then it would look like this. Na-sha-sha-sha-da. See what I'm saying? So don't make your into a shh, please.
It's really hard to
Very
train your tongue,
different.
but you need to practice that.
Yeah.
You just say the word love and put your tongue right behind your teeth and blow out the sides.
Love.
You have to, because our tongue never goes there in English.
Yes.
You will never have that happen, and so you
Well,
have
we have it in love. We have it the voiceless.
Yes.
Yeah, you have the voice, and there's voiced versions and unvoiced versions of sounds, right? And voice just means vibrating right here. Okay, so we did this one time before. So if you go love, lots, right? Those are English words. Put your finger, feel it vibrating. Love, lots, Lonnie, right? It's vibrating, right? Now, we don't use this in English. Put your tongue in the same place and just blow out and don't vibrate. La, lon, lum, look. See, that's the unvoiced version. See, they're in the same location in the mouth. Love, la, Lonnie, lon. See, one is voiced and one's voiceless. That's the only difference between them. But because of our English ears, we'll make that into a s.
Yeah.
That's our English ears.
Well, we have a tendency to go,
Or sh, or s.
Or sus. So I'm gonna say the S for sus.
Or cut.
You know, not
For
S.
hot.
Yeah, for hot. Like that's what Bray says. There's no S at the end. You're saying sus, not.
Oh yeah, so it's
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sus. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying sus.
Yes.
Yeah,
You gotta get rid
yeah.
of that. Like you said, you want to do the S one.
right, and you just get your tongue back behind your teeth.
And yeah, and some look.
Okay, swallow your spit and blow.
There you go. Say that. You swallow your spit.
Plan.
So nosh, da. Nosh, da.
Nosh.
All you have to do is practice saying black. You can say black, you can say it all.
Say black.
Right?
Black. You write it down.
Okay, this one here, guys, this is a good practice.
Okay, well,
Shun.
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 Shun. Un.
That's what they have.
Here's a good one.
Shun.
This means this is the verb they live that like they live there. A bunch of people. Hot.
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 Hot. Hot. Not minky Juntens hot. There's some white people living over there or something. Dee-ni lands hot. Hot. There's a bunch of Indians living over there. Okay. Hot. Another good one is hun. Sweet. Something sweet. Hun. 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 This is not LH, but that's, I mean, it's just.
Try it, that streak. Just mix them up a little bit.
Yeah, so.
It is hard, it's harder to, I think.
Purple. Let shriek. Let shriek. Let shriek. Let shriek. Now you know why they call Dee-ni or Dee-ni a consonantal language. It loves consonants. See, a lot of languages are verb-based languages, like Hawaiian,
Wow.
Japanese, or excuse me, vowel.
Vowels.
Japanese, Hawaiian, karu. They just vowels everywhere. You know, they're not Dee-ni, it's consonants everywhere. And then use the vowels just to connect it all together. So this is why it's called a consonantal. It's a consonant language, consonantal language. That's why it's classified that. Screaming examples right here. You know, the shriek, hun, hot, shun.
Shun.
Yeah. Those are probably some of the hardest words, I think.
what was the last one?
Shriek, purple, purple, violet.
Steak stush is really hard.
Oh,
Hit, oh.
That has all three.
Yeah. Thanks, Dallas.
I'm trying to do 5 little pumpkins.
L, E, C, O, M, S, H.
This is the retroflex. like shrew, right? Hit, dash.
Take
Hit, dash.
What is it? What is
Fence.
it?
Fence.
A fence?
A fence.
That's a fence?
Hit, dash, yeah. Yeah, hit, dash.
Stuff.
And if you break, and you know what's really fun about our language? Because it's consonantal, you can take almost every word in the language and parse it down into its parts and figure out what it's saying. I mean, what it's describing.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if we did the grammar on this, so that's the sound segment, right? That's a sound segment, that's a sound segment, that's a sound segment. And then this is, we know this just by practice, that's the verb root, okay? Dash. So, dash means go. Non dash, you know. There's another way to say go. There's about 6 or 7 ways to say go in the language, to walk and go and move, okay? Tush, dash, dash, gosh, hot, dash, they all have something to do with movement, okay? So, dash. Well, tek means flat or wide. So actually what this is so this part here means wide or flat. So what does a fence look like?
It's wide and flat.
It's wide and flat, and it's going along the ground, right?
For a long
So,
way.
yeah, so if you put your post in, and you got your post and your boards, and here.
So it's very descriptive, the language describes how something
Okay,
looks,
and then
smells, talks.
sure is the passive, something that goes flat, that goes on and on. So you take this, dash is how you come up with the word for fence. This is the Golden Richards word. Remember that? I mean, I don't know if he made it up or not, but
Say
he's
it
the one.
again, what did you say?
Hit dash,
dash.
hit dash, hit dash, hit dash. Aye.
And I say, I'm not for me, because I try to throw the LH and everywhere, I'll say Dutch. I'll
Overdo it.
overdo it.
Yeah,
I'll
overdo it. Yeah.
Slop it in everywhere.
Right.
And
Good.
it's really hard not to do that.
Yeah. And that's what I say, because our language, the way it is, you know, with the consonants and all that stuff, it's very, it's considered a conservative language in terms of change. Some languages, because they're more vowel oriented, once a word is created in the language, it'll erode down into something else, right? But because of the consonants in this language, it hangs on to the historic grammar for just a long period of time. It's not something, it doesn't just go throwing parts off. You know, because for example, if I just start saying, you know, and just threw this away, then the mind's going to go, you know, something's wrong. If I just got rid of this, the dash, the go part, see what I'm saying? Now, it does erode, which is normal. Words do erode, right? They get shorter. The older, they say, the older the word is, the longer it's been alive in the language, it becomes crunched and eroded down. And that's probably true. We have some basics, like we have the word for fire. You know, what? And usually erode words are one syllable, and you can't break it apart. You know, like if I go like this. It's like, oh man, you know, that's a what sound, hey, that's a huh sound, this is a sound, that's an N sound, that's a long stop. What? Okay, there you go, it's a what, it's a fire. And it could have been a long time ago, this could have been, you know, or something like, or whatever, who knows, and it eroded down.